The 2008 South African 20-cent coin may appear simple at first glance. A small bronze-plated coin, easy to overlook in a pile of change, lightweight, and not much larger than a bottle cap. But for those who know what to look for, this particular coin holds more than just its face value. It carries history, craftsmanship, national symbolism, and in rare cases, a price tag that will leave you speechless. This coin was part of South Africa's regular currency circulation, minted in large quantities and used in everyday transactions. You might find one at the bottom of an old drawer, buried in a box of forgotten change, or perhaps tucked away in a relative's collection. But while millions were minted, only a handful have become the focus of intense collector attention. Let's start by looking closely at the design. On the reverse, you'll see a large, detailed image of the king protea flower. The protea isn't just any plant. It's the national flower of South Africa, chosen for its uniqueness and resilience. It's a symbol of beauty, strength, and the ability to survive through difficult conditions. The coin captures this flower in full bloom, radiating confidence and national pride. Below it, the number 20 is engraved in bold, smooth font, clean and uncomplicated, clearly marking the denomination. Turn the coin over and you're met with a symbol of deep national significance, the South African coat of arms. Adopted in 2000, this emblem is packed with meaning. At the top, a rising sun, representing hope and rebirth. Just beneath, two human figures facing each other in greeting, drawn from ancient Khoisan rock art, symbolizing unity. Below them, the motto, Kuizera K, in the Zem language, which means, diverse people unite. Further down, you'll find a spear and a knobkerrie crossed in balance, a symbol of peace and defense. Finally, at the base, a protea flower again, reinforcing the importance of growth and renewal. All of this is framed by ears of wheat, tusks of an elephant, and a shield, each a reflection of South Africa's cultural and natural wealth. Above the coat of arms, the name of the country is inscribed, but with a twist, it appears in one of South Africa's 11 official languages. On different coins, you might find it written in English, Afrikaans, Zulu, Xhosa, or another of the country's native tongues. It's a small but powerful representation of linguistic and cultural inclusion. Then there's the date, 2008. A year that might not seem special until you start to uncover what makes some coins from this batch so incredibly rare. Here's where things get interesting. Not all 2008 20-cent coins are valuable, but certain versions contain minting anomalies or design errors. These can be extremely subtle: a slight misalignment in the press, a faint doubling of the lettering, a soft strike that causes part of the image to blur or vanish slightly. In some cases, a rare die variety might be responsible for unique markings that appear only on a handful of coins. To the untrained eye, these differences are invisible. But to a seasoned numismatist, or even a collector with a keen eye, these imperfections are golden. Literally. Because when a coin like this is authenticated and confirmed to be one of those rare varieties, its value doesn't just increase, it skyrockets. Coins with errors or unique characteristics are the crown jewels of any collection. They're mysterious, hard to find, and nearly impossible to replicate. And in the case of the 2008 South African 20-cent coin, one particular specimen recently turned heads around the world. This coin, in near-perfect condition, displayed a combination of rarity markers, an unusual strike, a flawless finish, and an identifiable die variation that experts had only seen once before. It had never been circulated. Not a scratch. Preserved as if it had just been pressed yesterday. It was examined, certified, and auctioned off in a private collector's event that attracted attention from numismatists across continents. The bids climbed quickly. What began as a modest starting price shot into the thousands within minutes. Then into the hundreds of thousands. Phone lines buzzed. Emails flew in. The world's top collectors were ready to battle for it. For many, it wasn't just about owning a rare coin. It was about history, prestige, and the chance to hold something truly one of a kind. The final bid, $2 million. That's right. A coin once worth 20 cents, used to buy candy or ride a bus, is now a multi-million-dollar artifact. A reminder that sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest value. That hidden among the ordinary, there are treasures waiting to be discovered if you know where and how to look. Close your eyes and consider what South Africa was like in 1994. The air pulsed with possibility. The nation, long shackled by apartheid, teetered on the edge of a new beginning. Nelson Mandela had become president, the first black president in decades, and people from all walks of life were cautiously stepping into daylight after years of oppression. The 5 Rand coin minted that year carries that breath of freedom in every ridge, every relief, every polished surface. It is not just a financial instrument, it is a symbol of the nation's soul, minted at the freedom coin moment, right when change was no longer a dream but a promise unfolding. You hold it and feel its weight, not just in grams but in gravity. The coin's design, strong, bold, unflinching. On one side, the fiercely resilient black wildebeest, a creature built for endurance, built for the plains, surviving the elements and the predators. That wildebeest charges forward, not retreating. On the flip side, the coat of arms of South Africa, symbols of unity, of hope, of many cultures joining forces to build something new. Every line carved, every arc of metal forged, carries intention, something you almost feel under your thumb, something that almost vibrates with urgency. Pictures of coins are one thing. But holding one minted in 1994, seeing the luster it holds, knowing that for some hands it traveled many years before reaching you, this is something else. Scratches might tell stories, we might speak of journeys. That faint sound when the coin tumbles in a jar reminds you that value is not always obvious. Rarity doesn't always come from numbers. Sometimes it comes from what it represents: courage, change, hope. In the case of this 5 Rand coin, it's all those things. In auction rooms, behind locked glass, when collectors whisper it might show up, eyes shine. Because people know this coin is not just metal and mint. It is memory. Collecting is not simply hoarding. It's remembering. It's preserving moments when slips of time threatened to be lost. And 1994 was one of those slips. The moment apartheid fell, when the dream of equality, of dignity, took a real shape in government, in voices, in law. When people said, no more walls, no more division. When artists, leaders, ordinary citizens risked everything so that the next generation might live differently. And in that upheaval, in every public speech, every march, every tear and smile, the world watched. The 5 Rand coin was there. Marketed and distributed, stamped with imagery, produced quietly but loaded with significance. Many didn't see its full importance then. Many just saw change, unsure what shape tomorrow would take. Over time, some of these coins found their way into collectors' hands. Some remained tucked in change dishes, piggy banks, forgotten drawers. Some endured corrosion, some stayed pristine, untouched but for occasional glances. But every single one retained a connection, a thread, to that turning point. And as decades passed, those threads entwined into stories. A coin with sharp milled edges, perfect ridge definition, unblemished surface, a gem. One with slight contact marks or toned surfaces, character, history. Why does that matter? Because collectors care. Historians care. People who believe that objects are more than objects, they're artifacts of emotion, care. Now think of the demand. Not just among coin collectors in South Africa, but internationally. Anyone who studies currency, anyone who respects symbols. Auctions bidding quietly but fiercely. Pieces crossing borders, crossing continents. Quiet whispers about condition, about grading, about provenance. Questions like, did this coin come from a bank issue? Was it used in commerce? Was it stored in perfect preserving conditions? Every detail alters value. A coin in mint state, untouched, perfect fields, uncirculated, these are rare. And rarer still from that watershed year, that birthplace of modern South Africa. Picture an auction room, under soft lights, glass cases, velvet beds. The 5 Rand 1994 in a protective holder, lit so the metal gleams. A collector clears throat. The bidding starts modest but rises, thousands, tens of thousands. The crowd leans forward. Someone in the back raises a pedal, someone at the desk clicks a mouse. Each bid more daring than the one before. The coin is more than property. It becomes symbolic ownership of history. And the number climbs.